Boom! What's going on, brother? It's your man Pat Seasallauto LLC, towing and roadside services. I'm down here in the city, beautiful, baby. Woo! Breathing in some of that good ass prana, baby. I gotta pick up some cars, man. We in Samson right now. I'm chilling. The sun is blowing down. Y'all see your man is out here being seen and trying to see and be seen. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, I get people hitting me up about the roadside and towing game all the time. Henceforth, shameless plug, Roadside Guide, the profits down below. But I needed to make a video as a follow-up video about the roadside assistance portion of the industry. Because you got towing, you got recovery, you got roadside assistance. This is all different avenues. So this is gonna be 5 things I wish I would have known before starting my roadside assistance business. Let's go. All right, so number 1, to the 5 things I wish I would have known about the towing or the roadside assistance portion of the business before starting it is that when I had the mechanic shop and I was doing mobile mechanic services, I was trapping out of the truck or my car at times. The commercial insurance was significantly cheaper. You just had a regular general liability, and I think I only had like a $200,000 policy, and then you had your commercial insurance. Now the commercial insurance for the vehicle was expensive, but this is the thing: the insurance for the roadside assistance portion of the business is cheaper or is more expensive than my mechanic shop insurance was. But it was cheaper than the towing industry. So I know that's kind of confusing. Let me break this down another way. So for instance, we're gonna just take Samson. Samson, while it's an older truck, just like Super Donkey, Samson has commercial insurance. Now, when I was doing commercial insurance just out of a car, it wasn't that bad. But once you move on to the truck, it's bigger, it's over 10,000 pounds. You got to pay different, well, here in Florida at least, you have to pay different fees for having a vehicle over 10,000 pounds. So when you have commercial insurance on this, it's like having 2 different policies, because the truck has a policy and then the business has a policy. Whereas in the mechanic shop, I had the truck, or I had the car, I had the shop, and then I just had a general for everything. This is a little bit different, but it's a commercial vehicle. Why I stress to make that point is because those are things that I didn't take into consideration when actually starting a business. And insurance is great when you need it. It sucks to pay it most of the year and then, never actually need it. The crazy thing is, if you use the insurance for, let's say you get into an accident, your premium's probably gonna go up, which I believe is illegal. I had to look into it more, but it was more expensive because, for the shop at least, because like I said, I had 3 different policies that was wrapped up into one versus just having 2 policies. And in the towing industry is the same exact thing. My tow truck's gonna have insurance, then you're gonna have on-hook insurance, you're gonna have garage keepers. That's what it was. I had garage keepers for the mechanic shop. And it's just basically a lot of policies wrapped into one. So insurance is expensive, but it's not as expensive as the tow truck, like the towing insurance for Seasallauto towing versus Seasallauto the garage. It's a crazy in between, but profitability can be there. So it makes it worth it depending on your area. Number 2, on 5 reasons or 5 things I wish I would have known about the industry before starting my roadside assistance business. The tools are gonna seem minuscule. And it's gonna seem like, I'm gonna spend a little bit there, but it's gonna add up over time. And you're gonna need a lot of different things because there's a lot of different situations. Let's break it down. Name a few. You got jacks, we got batteries, we have impact guns, more batteries, more impact guns, gloves, you have lights. You need all types of seemingly minuscule items to be able to run the business, but it adds up. The true issue on why this becomes a problem is because you're gonna need a lot of real estate. And if you're just running a roadside assistance business, like if you ever seen a road ranger somewhere like on a major highway, you look at their truck, they got compressors, they have cones, and that's things I got that too, but you need to run and have space for all this stuff. So I used to do this out of the car because doing lockouts fuel deliveries, tire changes, and jump starts. It's simple enough, right? But if you want to make the money, you can't just be in those things, because there's only so many people gonna lock their keys out of their car. And we live in the 21st century. You got remote access. I did a BMW the other day, and after 20 minutes of trying to figure out how to unlock it, I called BMW, gave them the VIN number, gave them the tag, the whole 9 yards, and they just remotely unlocked it. Tesla's the same exact thing. So we're living in a time where, you're gonna need an array of tools, and a lot of things can be done from the phone, but I mean, you can't give gas from a cell phone, for instance. The point that I'm trying to make is that you're gonna need real estate to be able to hold all this stuff. And you can get one thing at a time, and it'll definitely work like that, but it's gonna add up. So those costs that you're gonna incur over the course of however long you're doing it is gonna be on assets when you first get them, but kind of liabilities at the end, because you have to be able to do something with these tools. And if you decide at some point that you're not gonna do it anymore, you're gonna have tools that may not hold value, because in this day and age, tools are a dime a dozen. You can get them from anywhere. So it's gonna add up. You're gonna need real estate, and it's gonna continuously occur as time goes on. The basics are always gonna be the same, but as cars develop, you're gonna need different tools, different utensils to get jobs done properly, adequately, cleanly, fastly. Number three thing that I wish I knew before starting the roadside assistance business is this is not a hustle. This is not something you could do part-time. I've never been in here before, so I'm just I'm killing a few minutes in this particular location because I got to get cars down the road. So I'm just kind of looking around. What's going on? What are we doing out here? It's pretty cool. But this is not a part-time hustle. And when I say that, people ask me, hey man, can I just, do it? This is the thing. It's kind of like trucking. It's too expensive to talk about doing it part-time. If your insurance, let's just say is, I don't know, $600 a month. That might not be a lot to some people. It might be a lot to some people. It all just depends. But the problem is, why would you want to be wasting $600 and then not actually like going full force into it, when you can multiply that by, I don't know, 3, 4, 10 times the amount of your original investment? So it's not necessarily room for a side hustle. It's either you're in or you're out. You can do it part-time, but I don't think you're gonna really be happy with your results. That's that. You may have noticed I actually had to switch sceneries. It was necessary. Trust me, it was necessary. So this is one of the things, man. There's a lot of things that you could do as a side hustle. Roadside assistance is not necessarily one of them. You got something like Uber or DoorDash, Lyft. What else you got? I mean, you got, the sky is the limit. You got people who mystery shop. While roadside assistance is not necessarily a good side hustle, is solely because it costs so much to operate the business. Just like being in a tow truck. If you're paying $500-600 a month for your roadside assistance general liability, then you got to pay another $200-300 for your commercial automobile. You're looking at almost a G, and you ain't even made $1 yet. And truth be told, most of the roadside services, if you're going with the motor clubs, don't pay a whole lot of money, but that's usually people's general entrance to the game. So, you're starting off completely backwards, or you're gonna start off in a situation where you're having to hustle so hard, you're gonna get discouraged, because it takes a lot, especially when it's 126 degrees outside and you're gonna have to do a tire change. Keep that in mind. It's not necessarily a side hustle, even though it possibly could be, but the money you expense out is gonna be hard to debit that money back in, creating a liability versus it being an asset. Number 4, things I wish I knew before starting the roadside assistance business. I know it now, and that's why I'm sharing this with y'all. Tow providers will infinitely outperform roadside assistant technicians. Let's talk about why. This is a perfect example for where I'm at right now. So I'm at Walmart, and let's just say somebody needs a tire change or a jump start or, you know, something like that. Let's just say tire change. Let's just say this vehicle needed a tire change, right? And let's just say something like Master Cadillac. So you know what? Let's just say that was a Cadillac. And let's just say they say, hey, we're gonna send our roadside person out here to do this tire change or lockout or whatever the case is, whatever soft service, right? The problem that you run into, let's say they get out here and they realize that the tire's flat, right? But then they go to get the spare and then the spare is flat. You know what happens then? You need a tow. And let's just say you have a tow truck, but now you gotta go back to your tow truck. You gotta load all the stuff up, whatever, and then come on back. Now y'all have watched me do this for years now. And so that's henceforth one of the reasons why I rock so hard in Samson, because I still ain't showed y'all the other part of Samson yet, but it's transformed. And I can do it all. I can do it all. I'll pump up your tires. I can change the tires. You ain't got no tires, I'll take it. And if I ain't got no tires on it and I try to take it and I need to have something, I'll throw it on dollies. A tow provider can infinitely do the same thing as a roadside assistance person can, but not necessarily always want to. Now, let me do a bonus tip to that point. See, right now, I'm in a cool shaded area, right? And most tow providers are gonna get, I wish they would get that alarm shut off. Most providers are gonna get inside of their truck and they're gonna, you know, hit some buttons, throw some switches, throw some chains, strap it down, they rocking and rolling back into the AC. The advantage of a roadside assistance technician over a tow provider is simply this right here. You see that? Do you see how life just changed? How I got inside of the sun and now it's like 110 degrees in this particular spot. But if I come back to say right here, whoo, it literally is a night and day difference. So tow providers don't necessarily want to go out and work in that. Henceforth, while roadside assistant technicians have the upper hand if they're willing to deal with the elements and the miscellaneous things that come along with being a roadside technician. But it's hard to beat a tow provider if they're willing to do all of the above. Oh, this is one I don't think people really be considering. Number 5, things I wish I knew before becoming a roadside technician or starting this business as a roadside technician. It drastically helped me to be a mobile mechanic first in more than one way, but we're gonna break down a couple. First way, it helped me drastically because I can do just more than battery changes, tire changes, fuel delivery, such like that. You know, I diagnose your car on the spot. It don't even matter to me. All I need to know is where you at, and when I pull up, I got the computers, I got the knowledge, and I got the will and the drive to be able to do that. So essentially what I'm saying is that there's the potential that I can upsell, just like having a tow truck to do the roadside assistance business. If you don't need roadside assistance, but you need an actual tow, I could do that, and it's gonna be more money. It's an upsell. So being a mobile mechanic first, or just being a mechanic in general, being mechanically inclined is gonna be a gold mine for you because more people need automotive help than people who need tows. And a lot of people don't really know how to work on cars, and you'll find that they'll be in a situation where they need somebody to work on it, they don't trust the person, whatever, and the car's broke down. It's broke down right where they called you at. So you got all types of upside. I mean, you could do a simple brake job and net $150, $200 profit on, you know, your bottom line, because brake pads cost 30, 40 bucks sometimes. The labor is gonna be, let's just say, an hour's labor to jack up like the front end, for instance, and that's it. So you're talking about 100 plus per hour without the additional overhead of a tow truck if you're already on site. It don't always work out like that, but having the prior knowledge to be able to properly diagnose, even if you don't fix it, your customers will greatly appreciate it because you have pointed them in the right direction. So look, we're gonna conclude on this. I threw a bonus tip or two in there as well. You know, random events are imminent. You're gonna have situations where you just can't control it, and maybe a tow truck is best. Maybe roadside assistance is best. The end of the day, you wanna be prepared for whatever it is. But if I knew then what I know now, and I had it over to do again, I probably would have still chose the roadside assistance portion, because to me personally, you can make more money doing it if you have the drive to do it. Because not everybody wants to change, or not everybody wants to get their car towed to a random person. But from my perspective, being that I got a mechanic background, I have every opportunity and a incentive to upsell the customer, making my profit margin significantly higher without the additional revenue, the additional cost of doing business. Once I've acquired the customer, you know, I could do what it is, what with them as I please, and my aim is to please the customer. Getting extremely tongue-tied, but the point is, random things are imminent, but the more skills you have and the more willingness you are to work, the better it is. Now, as y'all know, I stopped turning wrenches. I don't even want to turn wrenches on my own vehicles. Like literally, I'm gonna buy a brand new tow truck if I have to, as I don't want to do none of it if I don't have to. My money ain't there just yet, so you know, keep that in mind. But the point is, roadside assistance business is a great business to be in. I think there's a lot of niches. Matter of fact, before we kill it out, let me go over a couple of those niches. Locksmith services. You can go with like Papa Lock and just do, locksmith. Locksmithing, let me just say that. Instead of just saying Papa Lock, locksmithing in general, like, is a gold mine to me because you got to know what you're doing. You're still going to invest in equipment, but you can unlock trucks, cars, stores, safes. It really doesn't matter. Like, literally, the sky is the limit for you. So, I mean, to me, that's one of those niches in the roadside assistance world that I think is good. You got guys who just do tire changes. They got, of course, all this has got a startup capital with it. And then you have ongoing expenses like insurance. And it just depends on where you are and what you're ultimately trying to do. To which revenue avenue you're gonna take for revenue. So you got guys who just do tire services. You got even guys now who just do electric charging. Like they literally just have a vehicle dedicated to going out to people's charging, just a mobile charge station. You got mobile oil changes. You have, the sky is the limit as far as the niches. You just got to pick out which one is best for you. For me, towing is, I love towing. If you ask anybody who know me, they know I love roadside assistance. Like, I will change a tire in a heartbeat. I'll take it off the rim with bars if I have to, which I have shown this before. Like, I am dedicated to the craft. Now, do I love towing? Absolutely. Can I make more money? 100%. But you can make money in anything you put your mind to be completely honest with you. So it just really depends on you, your personality type, and the lifestyle in which you're trying to live. So with that being said, mi gente, I got to get back on this road. I got more cars to scoop up. My Wally World trip is over. My other impounds are over. And now it's time to get back to the road as the road top warrior I am. Now, if y'all want more in-depth information on this, if you want to talk, you need help crafting out and figuring out what it is that you want to do, man, hit me in the link. Stop hitting me up if y'all ain't got no money. I'm gonna be honest with you, not trying to be rude. I want to help mi gente, I really do. But yo, man, this time is not free. I want to help you though. There's a reason. There's nobody else out here giving, period, towing game like I'm giving, like as far as I know. And if they are, link them down below and maybe we can get an interview going on so we can collectively help the towing and roadside assistance world or industry. I'm down for it. But otherwise in that, y'all want information, you ready to invest in yourself and take yourself to the next level in the towing and roadside industry game, click the link down below. The Seasallauto guide to profits still available. And we got consulting. You want to holler at me, just want to chop it up, see what's up, go ahead and hit that link below. And I think that'll be it, man. So I'm gonna go get some more cars with Samson. I'm gonna show y'all eventually what we got going on. I've been keeping it on the low. So shout out down here, Orlando, big up, Mercy Drive, Prince, and y'all know what it is, man, Westside Orlando. But we out of here though. Until next time, mi gente, be pro mundo beneficio siempre. Peace.